Welcome to the Creative Brew, helping you keep your creative juices brewing. We're giving out chunks of insight, motivation, and practicality for your creative journey. And welcome to a new episode of the Creative Brew, giving you insights on your creative journey. This beautiful episode has been brought to you by some great sponsors of mine. First of all, Panels, Comics, and Coffee Bar here in beautiful Oceanside, California, right off of Mission Avenue. They have some great graphic novels, comics going on right now, some of the hottest titles going on. So if you're a geek, hey, quick note, Jupiter's Legacy, that is on Netflix right now. They've got the graphic novels out for those right now. I've been reading them. They're great. But they also have a great assortment of merchandise, toys, as well as back issue vintage comics. So there's all kinds of hidden gems in there. If you mention the Creative Brew, you'll get 10% off your next purchase. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook at Panels Coffee, or you can go to panelscoffee.com. My next sponsor is Elevate Coffee Trading. And if you appreciate especially coffee, enjoy outdoor adventure, and love helping to elevate the lives of children around the world, then you're going to love Elevate Coffee Trading. Their mission is to extract hope through love, coffee, and adventures. There's free shipping in the U.S., and every bag of coffee helps sponsor health and education for children in coffee-producing countries such as Guatemala and in areas of need in the United States. You can use the promo code ELEVATE21 on your next order, and you can follow their journey on social media at Elevate Coffee Trading, and you can visit online at elevatecoffeetrading.com, and let's start extracting hope together. My next partner is Astropad, and if you're a graphic designer, a digital artist like me, then Astropad actually converts your iPad Pro into another professional graphics tablet. So you can use all your favorite programs. For me, I love Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator. You can use it right on your iPad Pro, and this actually helps me, especially when I'm designing a lot of poster designs, logos. It helps me to tweak and fine-tune a lot of my design work. So I usually get a lot of compliments. People ask me, hey, why is your work so clean? Well, Astropad helps me out. So you can check them out at Astropad Alp on social media, or you can go to astropadalp.com and check it out today. And my last partner is Cobo Pod, which is where we're at. Here, it's in Oceanside. It is a boutique video and audio production studio. And if you're a podcaster, vlogger, content creator, honestly, you really should swing by, check it out. I get compliments every time I bring on, anytime I bring on a guest. So they're amazed by the setup, by the quality of it. 4K video, beautiful audio. For me, it just helps me out because all I have to do is put in the finished file, and then I can create my podcast. So it helps me out tremendously. It's very easy, especially if you're starting out. Yes, it's always easy just to start a podcast from your phone. But if you want to go high end and you really want to push your brand and create the best podcast possible, then you're going to have the best team possible in order to make that work. So come on by, check out Cobo Pod, or you can book your session today at cobopod.org. Today we have an acquaintance, about to be one of my best buddies here, but Michael Clementi. He's actually the friend of a past guest. If you haven't checked it out, So Dior with the Swingin' Johnsons, great guy, great music. You know what? I'm gonna throw a quick shout out to him. So Swingin' Johnsons, check them out. If you haven't, especially if you're in the area, if you hadn't checked them out, you need to find a spot. Check them out; they're great. But today we have Michael Clementi, and he's going to talk a little bit about what he's doing. Obviously about music, about hood politics, and and we'll go from there. So we'll let him share his story, and we'll see where the conversation goes.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
I reached out to you because of Sodi.
Yeah.
I said, hey, is it okay if I come on here because I've been confined to my house for over a year? Can I express some things going on? He's like, please, go ahead. And it's been great ever since. But like you said, Hood Politics Records is a record label me and two of my best friends run, and I'm also a music producer myself. And I'm from this area. I'm born and raised in Carlsbad, California. I'm currently living in Encinitas. Okay. So my story is born and raised here, and I am trying to becoming a music producer. Yeah. And I go by the name More Than Friends. And coincidentally, that's my 5th name change since I started. I'm approaching 10 years. And I produce what's called house music.
Yeah.
If you were to confine it to an even smaller subcategory, it'd be tech house. So a little more, people think of house music kind of just that 4 on the floor beat, a little slow, a little melodic. This is kind of a little more in your face, a little more festival, things you see in like the EDM realm of house music.
Mm-hmm.
And myself and 2 of my best friends run Hood Politics Records. So we do not only produce music ourselves, but we have an outlet for people who are just like us to send us songs which you can sign, and then now you're part of this family. So I myself go by More Than Friends, and then my 2 best friends, one Joey McNulty goes by Nutty, and then Stephen Glade, he is named DJ Susan.
Okay.
Which is a whole other story in itself.
Oh wow! So tell me a little bit, I guess, a little bit about how you even like got into music production. I mean, I know everybody has their stories, but I didn't know if there was, you get some people that's, I mean, obviously with music, there's all kinds of things you can do, but what sort of pulled you to that specific genre with the house style, or even just starting your own, music production, music label. What were the things that sort of caused you to sort of go that direction? Because everybody, I'm always at the premise that everybody usually has a crux point. Usually they have that one little decision to where in their life to where like, this is the direction I'm going. Everybody's had it in their lives in some way or fashion, but I didn't know for you, like, what was the decision for you to start Hood Politics?
So even before that, so to why I got into music, there's been music in my house my whole life. My dad's played guitar since he was 13.
Yeah.
My brother learned to play guitar as well. So just hearing all this music, and the music just brings an energy that it's cool. I always thought it was so cool that they can make music. So when my hands were big enough, when I started thinking, hey, I want to start doing something, I asked my dad, can you teach me guitar? He said, I can, but it'd be really cool if you learn to play a different instrument, because I play guitar, your brother plays guitar, and everyone plays guitar. It's a dime a dozen. You're going to see a lot of people want to play guitar. Rightfully so. If you're a kid learning about music, classic, your dad shows you classic rock, guitar is huge. You're playing, the riffs, the solos, you're the front man who's not singing, basically.
Yeah.
You should learn to play bass, was what my dad said. So you can jam with us, so we can all play together. Mm-hmm. So I learned to play bass. That was the first thing I learned was bass guitar when I was 13.
Oh, wow.
And I loved it. I loved it so much. It was like just diving into something so new. And, being 13 years old, you play with your friends. I played basketball, I played baseball, and that's it. But now I have this thing that I can do just internally, just focus on music and learn this. My friends don't play instruments, so this would be something cool that I like to do. Mm-hmm. So I did that. And then my whole life, I always have like a beat in my head, always kind of like hitting the desk, always just thinking of different patterns and different ways things could sound cool.
Yeah.
So from 16 to 17, I'm just like, I need to get these ideas somehow into a canvas, which it would be recording music.
Yeah.
How do I don't know how to do that. I have no idea what step to take. I have no idea how to get into a recording studio. I don't have any money. I'm 16 years old. I don't have a job. I have nothing. I don't know what to do. So fast forward to 18 years old, me and my friend Joey McNulty, who was one of the founders of Hood Politics, we downloaded this app on our phone called BeatPads 24. And it was it's exactly that. It's just beat pads that you put songs on. They have different pre-made sound packs, and we just started jamming. We got so into this. We did it all the time. He would come over and we'd plug into my amp and we would just do that and make songs out of just this. And this is just an app on our phone, a free app.
Yeah.
So from there, I'm like, I need to somehow go into the next step, which is getting a music production software, which is what professionals use, which is what you see live bands do, EDM producers, anybody, they use some sort of software on their computer.
Yeah.
So my friend who I was at junior college with, I would go to him and say, can you listen to the song I made on my phone, this app? You're my friend, I want to show this to you. He said, you need to get a music software. I'm going to give you mine. I'm just going to copy it on your computer. And it's called Fruity Loops. It's called FL Studio.
Yeah.
I still use this today. I use the same one. He gave it to me, and then my world changed. Everything that I can now think of in terms of pattern recognition, getting instruments, sampling, I can do.
Yeah.
I have the ability to do that. And then I didn't want to go out to parties with my friends. I didn't want to waste any time. I just wanted to go to school and come home and work on this.
Yeah.
Watch YouTube videos about things I can learn and then do that.
Yeah.
Watch it really fast, skip through it, and then go back to this. That's all I wanted to do. And that it's indescribable too, because it was like drugs. It was like a drug I've never had before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is what heroin must feel like. You just run to this drug every time because I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
And even when I'm at work, I'm asking people, can you listen to a song I made on this new software that I have? And it just sounds horrible. But there's that idea that I can take what's in my head and actually put it to something and make a song. That's why I got into music, is because there was always something in my head that I wanted to put to an outlet.
Yeah.
And now I could finally do it. And it was so much easier than I thought. I thought you had to get thousands of dollars and go to a record studio and say, can I just use this stuff? And they're like, oh, yeah, go do it. But you don't have any idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
But now it's just so much easier to do it at your house. So it was just so eye-opening, and my life's never been the same ever since I got that software.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
So as far as even with, doing the DJing and doing the house music, do you feel like, I mean, obviously with technology, I mean, people've got access to all kinds of different things. Do you feel now, I mean, personally for you, and you can probably answer this question a little bit better, but do you feel that even now it's still, does it still have like an artistic quality, a creative quality compared to more manufacturing of, just, hey, I've got these preset things, let's see what we can do. I didn't know if that, for a question for you, I mean, I didn't know if you could answer that better.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, you get it's a mix of both. I know it was one artist, one of my favorite artists, Flying Lotus, but he was, someone had gotten on him recently because he was, doing these big concerts, and he was doing a lot of, using a lot of instruments from, I guess from the machine. It wasn't like anything like just a regular guitar. And I guess it forced him, like someone had got on him about that, and it forced him to go back to just the guitar, the drums, and relearn the piano and relearn all that stuff, to where he was able to, for him to make better music. But I didn't know for you, like, do you feel like that's just like a means to an end as far as creatively? Or do you feel like, heck, not to say like anyone couldn't make it, but do you feel like it has to have a creative aspect to it to make it sound good?
I think it's very creative.
Okay.
I think when it comes to creativity and what people like about it is the final product.
Yeah.
It's what do they see at the end? They see the painting, they see the food, they hear the song. It's not many people are concerned with how you got there, per se, but the fact that it's made is very creative. And Flying Lotus, also thousands of producers, if you just have a simple drum beat and you take samples of things and just put them in there in a cool pattern, I love that. I think that's super cool. Yeah. And that's creative in itself, the fact that you can take something that's already made as a song and chop it down to a little bit and make it a fraction of your song and a piece. I think that's awesome. One of the things I wanted to do was just remix people. I just wanted to find things to remix. All I want to do is make my song and take vocals from a famous song that I like, from some hip hop song that I love, a Dr. Dre song that I love, and change it up and do it my way. That's all I wanted to do when I first started. And I still have that feeling a lot. I just want to find some vocals, just some clean vocals out of here from Nate Dogg, Snoop Dogg, like 50 Cent or something like that. Just find it, pull it, and then just see what I can do with it. And when people say that, oh, Flying Lotus needs to go back to playing bass guitar and playing drums, you have to do what makes you happy. If that made him happy at that time to do that, and thousands of people in the audience loved it, which I guarantee they did because he's an amazing showman, that's fine. It's your opinion. It's someone else's opinion saying he should be doing this. Well, he doesn't think he should be doing that. He wanted to do the other thing. So when it comes to creativity, it's very subjective. So someone's going to say, so when I make music, it's the drums are all pre-made sounds. I have 9,000 kicks. Kick drums. I have 9,000 claps. Clap, clap, clap. a bunch of hi-hats. I have countless things of those that are all pre-recorded.
Yeah.
That I take and make a song with.
Yeah.
Someone can say, you shouldn't even be sampling. You should have a drum set and make that noise. You should have a snare. I'm like, I can't. I don't have the money. I don't have the studio space. I can't do that. It's impossible. So I'm taking what I have and making a completely different song out of it.
Yeah.
So when people say that, it's just their opinion about it, I think. And it comes down to when you're at the show, when you're listening to it, does it make you go like, whoa, this is really cool.
Yeah.
This is really, really cool. I need to keep re-listening to this. I need to go see this guy live. I need to become a fan.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
Well, for you, I think you brought up a great point. I know for me, usually if I'm in the process of creating something, I can be a very harsh critic of my own work. And there's sometimes where I'm in the middle of a design or a creation, and I feel like I like where this is going. For you, when you're creating your music, where do you feel like are you at a certain point sometimes where you feel like what's that point to be like, yes, I like where this is going? Like when you start pulling in the drums and pulling in the different beats, and you start layering and sort of mixing it around. When do you feel like, hey, I think I got something going here?
Never. I'm jealous of you. You have that. You actually feel like you're going somewhere. Never.
No.
It's even songs I put out, I'm like, I could have done something different there.
Yeah.
I could have done X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But that's a negative way of thinking about it. But even when it comes to really getting in the groove, really getting like, 7 hours has passed. I haven't even noticed it because you're just feeling everything.
Yeah.
Is when I'll break it down even just like music wise. The drums and the bass line is probably 80% of the song. Mm-hmm. Once you have those layered out, it's what you put on top of it in terms of synthesizers, effects, the vocal choice you use, the environment you create. Yeah. That's what a song is that most house music sounds the same, and the drum beat, it'll all sound sped up. Yeah. It sounds like that drum beat. So will be running for 4 hours in someone's set. That type of beat. You won't hear any different one. Mm-hmm. It's what you put above all of that'll differentiate you from anyone else. So do I want to make it more tribal, a little more bongos, maybe some jungle animal noise and more like some vocal chants, versus do I want to put some really loud synthesizers and make you feel like you're more in a party festival environment? That's what will differentiate you from anyone else. Yeah. That's what really, because anyone can make a house music beat. Anyone can create that beat. It's very easy to do. Yeah. But it's what the different sounds you make for your bass lines, your synths, and then the vibe you want to bring to people. How do you want to make people feel? Yeah. Do they want you to want to chill them out, or do you want to make them scared? Do you want to make them like just intense and feel like we're in a creepy place? Yeah. And then everything in between. So when it comes to finding out that it's connecting, is finding that, first of all, is finding where I want to take them. Mm-hmm. After the drums, after that, most people can do that in an hour or so after you go through all your drums and go through all your basses and making the bass line. So after that, it's okay, I want to do more of a party environment. So I'm going to do some synth work, I'm going to do the effects, and then the last thing that I run into a wall all the time, that I tell my girlfriend, and she always says, change it up, but I always run into the vocals, because there's so many things that you can say and do just to find that right one. You record your voice, you hate it or something like that. Because the vocals is going to be, I'm going to tell you what to do in this song. Yeah. I'm going to tell you to either feel like you're in some sort of 90s rap hip hop video. I'm going to tell you either in a music festival, you're going to jump up in a little bit. I'm going to tell you to do something. But that really sets the tone of your song, is the vocals. And it's so important to me what I use for vocals, and that's why I sometimes get into such writer's block where I have 13 songs that are ready to go, but I can't figure out what I want them to say. Oh, that's the hardest part. So that's some of the blocks I get. But when it comes into getting in the groove, after an hour or hour and a half, you're sitting there like you can get lost and you're like, I can just listen to this drum beat, listen to this bass line all day. I could just sit here all night and be fine with it. And some people do. Sometimes I do that. But then you have to finish the song. You have to always finish the product. If you like it so much, you have to put in the work to finish it. Yeah. Yeah.
So with Hood Politics, how did that start? I know you was telling me you got the other ones that's part of Hood Politics, which I actually love that. I want one of those. But how did that start? So you were, getting everything going, really started getting obsessed with it. Where did it get to where, hey, I'm going to form this. I'm going to form Hood Politics.
Yeah.
Where did that start?
So Nutty, one of my best friends I've known for my whole life, we have a friend named Stephen Glaze, who is Hood. He is Mr. Hood Politics. He is the tip, and we're surrounding him. He went to Long Beach State, and then when he was up there, he had a bunch of friends, and they started a clothing company, which he also spearheaded that, called Hood Politics.
Okay.
So when you're in such a fun, cool college environment, you make shirts, you hand them out, you're going to parties. Everyone just starts saying Hood Politics and seeing Hood Politics.
Yeah.
It's just a clothing company. It's these group of guys. They throw these great parties. They're this, they're that. So Stevie graduates and comes back to Encinitas.
Yeah.
So Hood Politics is kind of just sitting there. It's got this big following and posts on Instagram sometimes, but it's just that. They're not putting out more clothes. So me and Joey and Stevie all meet up. We became friends just from producing music, going to shows, just being out all the time, and just seeing the familiar faces. You end up just becoming friends outside of that, and becoming best friends. And he said, or back up even more, Joey had a chance to start a SoundCloud page, a record label, which would be just a SoundCloud page in the beginning. Yeah. We're going to start putting music out as this collective.
Yeah.
And he's trying to figure out a name, and Steven said, let's just make Hood Politics Records. Let's just start doing that. Where I have such a big following. He's so passionate about it. Excuse me. He's so passionate about it. He puts so much work into it. It's like, let's make this. Let's actually do it.
Yeah.
And at the time, we were all producing kind of the same style of house music, not your typical just kind of melodical house music, but more in your face, more party style, more things you hear at festivals.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we were kind of running into was we were sending these songs that we know are really good. And when I say that, I think they're really good. I've seen them. I play them at shows. People love them. People tell you they're great. But in my heart of hearts, I'm like, I know I'm a good producer. I know I'm on the right path. I know I'm going somewhere with this. So we are sending out songs to record labels to get signed as well. Just like Hood Politics, there's record labels that we want to be on.
Yeah.
Hey, this is good, but it's not for us. Hey, needs work. We don't want it. Hear that hundreds of times, probably thousands at this point. So we're like, let's make Hood Politics, and we're going to make it our sound. This in-your-face, this fun, energetic house music, that's going to be Hood Politics, and it's going to be us, and we're just going to start with just love and passion about having a great time and making good house music. That's it. That's all we want to do. So when we're going to parties and we're throwing them, we're going in the audience and dancing in the front row with people. We're talking. We're super friendly to everybody there because we want you to know that you had a great time with Hood Politics and you have great music. Yeah. So not only are they great guys, they throw great parties, they make everyone really happy, but they also have amazing music they're putting out. So all the music that I've ever, not all, but majority of the music I put out on Hood Politics has been denied by other labels, and it gets into big playlists on Beatport. It has a bunch of SoundCloud plays, and I can't get mad at that really because someone else running a label that wants their own vision. Yeah. And that's not for them. So that's okay, but it took a while to get there. In the beginning, I'm just angry. I'm like, why? Why am I doing so? I know what's working. I'm not getting any results back. Yeah. What's going on? So that's why we made it, is to give an avenue to people who kind of have that same mindset of, I want to push the limits on this song. I want to really, really pump up the energy so that when it plays in a club, people turn their heads. Yeah. People look at the DJ and say, "Oh, this guy's playing this. I gotta get involved. I gotta see what's going on. This is, whoa, what's that?" That's the type of music that we play. It makes it memorable. Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah.
So have you had a song? I mean, like say if you're you're doing your thing at an event or in the club, what's been like some of the best, have people come up to you and say, "Hey, I love this. I love what you're doing." I didn't know if you usually get any comments or anything after the party or after the event. I always feel like sometimes, especially as an artist, it can be real hard to figure out ways to sort of validate yourself or validate your work. Yeah. Not to say you're in a selfish way. I mean, everybody's just a little bit selfish in their own way, but it's just one of those to know that you're on that right path and know that this is my vision. This is something I am fully committed in. And sometimes it could be hard, like especially if you don't get that feedback or validation from anyone. I didn't know for you, like, has it been times to where like, someone came up to you like, hey, this music rocks, and to make to like, okay, yeah, I am going the right path, even though it may take a little bit longer. I'm not necessarily, where I would love to be at as far as what the music label goes, but knowing that you're on that right path. I didn't know if you've had any kind of instances like that, but like, hey, keep doing what you're doing, or anything like that.
Well, I am such a compliment whore. I will take all the compliments, and if people come to me and say, hey, I love your song, it makes me just party, that's the best feeling.
Yeah.
It really is. And it doesn't happen in the beginning. I've been producing for 9 years, approaching 10 years.
Yeah.
For the first 4 to 5 years, it's just learning. That's all I was doing, was learning and putting out pretty bad songs.
Yeah.
And trying to find my own sound. So what really was validation was not only you play just a great set, talk to people after, that was amazing, that was awesome, that was great, loving that. I cared about my peers and what DJs and producers that I looked up to. I was talking to someone the other day, and they said that it doesn't matter about the SoundCloud plays or the Beatport sales.
Yeah.
It matters about the famous producers out there who have your song on their USB. They're playing it in the shows. That's what matters, is to get your songs on their USBs. And that really struck a chord at me. I'm like, a play on us on the internet's a play on the internet, but getting your idol to play your song, I could pass it. That's what I'm saying. Nobody can listen to it, but with one person listening to it who I look up to, I can just pass out with happiness right now. And I think there was a couple times when I first started producing that it really happened. And before I became started More Than Friends and made that name change, and then became a part of Hood Politics, I went by another name named Gold Clap, and I used to produce Gold Clap. If you ever want to really make yourself look like a douchebag, call yourself Gold Clap for about 2.5 years of your life. But it's a learning experience.
Wait a minute. How did you even come up with that name?
Well, let's go through all the names really quick. I went through 5 names. First name was Michael Clementi, of course. Yeah. The next name was Menti. Menti. Doesn't that make you want to cringe? Menti. And it was Clem. Just Clem short. And these were all like short-lived. These are all very short-lived right here.
It sounds like a virus.
Yeah. Got the Clem. Well, wait for the next one. It's called Gold Clap. You got the Gold Clap. But I think I came up with that because I really liked EDM, trap, and dubstep music. And that's really in your face, like really, really intense music. So I wanted to be something that was intense, something like that. And I came up with that. But after that, when I was producing trap and hip hop and dubstep, there was a time where I started going to these house music events. And what really attracted me was the music didn't make you intense. It brought you closer together as a crowd and just dancing together side by side. And the environment was just people like having fun, loving each other. There wasn't really rules. It was just be there and be there for the ride. And it was so fun. And I became addicted to that scene. I just keep going to that and have fun, dancing all night. I'm actually dancing versus more partying. I'm just here for the music, and I really like the music. So when I started doing More Than Friends, before mid-name change, I didn't put out music for 1.5 years, 2 years, something like that. Because I told myself, you should get really good at it. So don't put anything out. You can put out stuff, but it's not good enough to where you want to be mentally. Take time, learn as much as you can about music production, push yourself as hard as you can. Yeah. So that's when I was at Miracosta Junior College. I was working 2 jobs, and every hour that I wasn't doing that, I was doing music. Yeah. That's all I would do. In my room, just working on ways I can become better at music. So when I started putting out music as More Than Friends, I put out a song on SoundCloud. Just put a free download out. And I got a lot of response back. I got like something along the lines of like 5,000 plays in a week, which I never. The most plays I've had before on a song was 900 after I put out for 7 or 8 months.
Yeah.
And just didn't get anything because no one knew me. It didn't matter. I was making bad music anyway. So after that, I started using a free service called Hyped It. Now, Hyped It, what they do is they're a second website. So you press free download and you go to the second website and they have to follow you. They have to put a comment and they have to like your song and repost it to download the song for free.
Okay.
So my next few songs I would put on that website called Hyped It, not knowing when you upload a song, they have a top 100 downloads chart. My third song I put on there became number 2 on that chart. So I was like, what? And then someone from the team, the Hyped It team, emailed me and said, like, you're doing a great job. And there wasn't a bot. I was actually talking to someone. And I'm like, that is the first sign of knowing I am on the right path.
Yeah.
I have something going. Either it's the sound quality and it's what the song is.
Yeah.
It gets people going. That's it. So that was the first validation. The second validation was getting my first EP signed to a record label.
Wow.
So even before we started Hood Politics, it was a few years before even Hood Politics came to existence. I was sending out to probably people just like Hood Politics, who just local labels, trying to get with them, and I got an EP signed, and that to me was, I'm famous. I'm famous. I made it. I signed a contract. I have music coming out in a label. I'm good. Not knowing it's just one of many things that you could have 9,000 labels and no one's ever heard of you.
Yeah.
So after that, you put out music, put out free downloads. Things are going great, and then I made a song when I was still in my parents' house. My parents had left for a weekend. All I did was work on music for 2 nights straight. Literally, I slept for probably 6 hours for 2 days, just stayed up all night. I'm like, oh, it's 8 o'clock. Okay, cool. I made a song, and I remember it was like a producer that I really liked. His name's Rafa FL. He's from Italy.
Yeah.
So I tagged him on an Instagram video saying, hey, what do you think of this, right? When it leads up, does the something and then drops. He responded. He said, hey, this sounds really cool. Send me this song. I'm like, what? He wants this song? I'm like, it's not finished yet. Give me a day. Give me a day. So I finished the song like crazy. I sent him like a bunch of different versions. I'm like, hey, this is halfway done. This is 75%. What do you think? What do you think? Just talk to me. Just talk to me, please. So I sent him the song. I love this song. It's amazing. It's just like me. You said just like me. And then weeks go by. I get tagged in a video on Facebook. And it's Rafa FL, a very famous music producer worldwide, plays music festivals, does music for a living. If you do music for a living, you're famous to me, okay? He's playing it in a packed nightclub, and he did the recap video with that song. I'm like, what? And then people were like, this is amazing, this is so cool, this is so cool. And then another person from kind of a local party crew hits me up and says, hey, can you send me this song? I was listening to Rafa FL's mix. I reached out to him and asked him, whose song is this? Thinking it was him. He said, no, it's More Than Friends. He's like, that guy lives like 2 cities away from me. I'm talking to someone. So it's things like that kind of keep you going.
Yeah.
But just like those little victories, getting my first show, playing my first festival, getting flown out to play nightclubs. That's all comes so much farther down the road. But it's those things that I look back on, that happiness, it's through the roof. Yeah. I could have exploded with happiness just by those little things. And then, you want to play this festival up in Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo? I'm like, yeah, I'd like to do that. I'm very happy about that. But it's those like little kid feelings of, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
It's happening. And my dad said that, what you said, he said, you're on the right path. You just keep doing, what you're doing is obviously working. So continue doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked that, because I said I know I've had, instances even through my creative journey where it's like, man, am I going the right path? And then something pops up, and I'm like, okay, I'm on the right path. I just need to be patient.
Yeah.
Just keep doing the work. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is that, they see these people that's on social media, or they see all these people that, they may aspire to be like, and they don't realize all the, sleepless nights, all the wondering, all the all the looking in the mirror, like, man, I am just a joke. Just all the stuff that we tell ourselves just as creators, feeling like, are we even good enough? And then you may be on one high and be like, oh man, I'm the greatest ever, and then you go back down into that valley. A lot of people don't see that. They don't, and that's what I think even with the show, or it just me personally, that's what I love when I'm bringing on people like you, is seeing the process and the evolution.
Yeah.
I'm not really concerned with the byproduct. I'm sure if I have no clue in my mind, you're probably gonna be blowing up here within the next year or so. What I am concerned with, what I love, is like the process it took for you to get to that point, and what all the things that you did from your start, and then from now and where you'll be at in the future, and knowing that you put in the work. You had sleepless hours. There was I don't think people realize that, and I think a lot of aspiring creators, especially young creators, they need to realize that you have to put in the work. There's no overnight sensation whatsoever. Everybody's been putting in the work, and sometimes you get lucky with a great opportunity, and even for the ones that get lucky and they get that quick opportunity, sometimes they're not even ready for it, and sometimes things happen and it sort of blows up in their face, and now you're starting over again.
Yeah.
And I really admire the people that put in their 10, 15, 20 years of work to get to their authentic voice and vision. That's what I love, and that's what I like seeing. And I feel like even for you, I really feel like you'll be big. Like I said, I want to get you here now before you blow up, and then I can't schedule you in.
It doesn't matter. Even if I don't blow up, I will be making music for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You can see me 85 at a computer with headphones in, doing the same thing I'm doing now.
Yep.
Everybody wants to be in front of that packed crowd. Everybody wants to headline the music festival.
Yeah.
Not many people know, like you said, the work that goes into it. I didn't realize it. And the thing is, when I was doing it, I didn't think it was work.
Yeah.
I was just doing it.
Yeah.
You don't look back and say, oh man, I put in so much work that night my parents were on. I was just making music. I was like, I'm just a fucking drug addict making music right now.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm just going to stay up all night and do this. When the windows are closed, the headphones are in. It's time's endless.
Yeah.
So when people want that, think it's a quick fix, they don't see any of the behind the scenes. They don't see the name changes. They don't see the sleepless nights. They don't see not going out. They don't see not partying. They don't see making a song and then going back and deleting it and restarting everything.
Yep.
And when people want that, I just look at them and say, you're not there. It's inevitable to not take time to do this.
Yeah.
So when if someone comes to me and says, I have this EP, and I said, okay, awesome, I'll listen to it. How long have you been making music? 3 months. I know for a fact it's not going to be up to quality, just because it takes so much time to get good at this.
Yep.
It's never going, in anything. In wrestling, same thing. In sports, cooking, art, anything creative or where you are vulnerable in and has to be all on you, it's going to take years, maybe even a decade to actually get really, really good at it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's one of those where, I think, and I train a lot of the MMA fighters, and, it's just one of those where a lot of them expect it. I'll show something in practice, and then they feel like, they should get it like overnight. It's like, no, it was like, I've been in martial art. I've been wrestling for literally probably more than half my life, and I am still learning stuff. So it's just one of those like where I was like, don't expect to try to learn all this and incorporate this in one day and absorb it and feel like, okay, you got it. No. First of all, you're not Neo from the Matrix. Not yet anyway. We're not capable of download, which that might be for another episode. But, we can't just instantly access information and be like, okay, we got it. It's just one of those, like, it is a learning process. This whole journey is a learning process. And I think once you figure that out, once you get into something that you're passionate about, that you love, it's not, like you said, it's not work. I may same like you. I plan on creating and doing whatever until I'm 80 or 90 years old. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Stan Lee, and he passed away recently, but he was almost 100 and was still doing what he loved to do. That's what I want to do. I still want to be doing everything and learning new things, creating new things well into my 80s and 90s. Heck, I I'm just finding my stride now. I just turned, I'm 40, and now I just sort of found my stride. I know, how, even from a design and creation standpoint, and I know I can still get better. I think a lot of people feel like, oh, I get to a certain age and that's it. It's like, no, you are never done. Not in the creative journey. You're never done.
And
so.
I think that's what separates the people who see the pictures, see the wins, see the final product, say, that's what motivates me, is to do that. But the journey is so much more important than actually getting there.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, what I said earlier, when you feel your stride, I said never. And that also applies to kind of goal setting and almost not really ultimate happiness, but really you'll never ever get to your goal. Because the first goal to get a song signed, okay, got that. The first goal to get the show played, they got that. You keep going, you celebrate for a day, and you're like, okay, I'm on to that next thing. Yeah. And that'll happen all the time. There's things that I've done now that if I told myself when I was 18, I'd be like, you did that. That's so cool. Oh my God, you must be amazing. No, I'm not happy. I'm still looking for the next the festival. I need the record label. I need this. I need that. And you could get consumed by it. It almost is harder to do that, to sit still and be happy, than create and continue.
Yeah.
Because you'll see online, you'll see people get the shows, you see this, and you compare yourself. I'm better than him. I'm better than that guy. Why is he doing this? I'm doing that. Yeah. And you can't do that. Yeah. It's all about you. You have to put blinders on and say, well, I'm doing this. I'm going to work on this song. I'm going to work on this move. I'm going to create this thing, and I'm just going to get really good at that, and then go from there and get an outlet. Yeah. Because for my first few gigs, I don't even think I asked for money. I was just so happy to be booked and be playing. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I'll play. Oh, of course I'll play. Never asked for money. Like, we're gonna pay you $200. I'm like, oh cool. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought, it's just come and play. I just out of my parents' house. Yeah. So it really is about the journey. It really is. That's what it all comes down to. Is you'll never find that one thing and say, I did it. All right, I'm done. You always will keep going. And that's, like I said, what separates people who see the big festival, they see the sold out club, and they want to do that, and then they never actually put the work in to do it. Yeah. They say, they get sad. Why do I do this? If you're because people who think that way, their motivation is to party, probably to get with girls, get with guys. It's probably more of a superficial goal. Yeah. Versus, I need to create music. Yeah. I need to do that. I need to take hours of my day and do that. Yeah. And the natural progression for me to do that is to play it out in shows. Yeah. That's it. That's what I'm saying. If I don't play shows, I'm just going to keep making music. The shows will come because I'm focusing so hard on this. I'm going to make this so good that you're going to actually need to see this live and in person. Yeah. So when people say, oh, I want a headline, I want a DJ, well, you're going to have to put in a lot more work to do that. Yeah. And that's really all it comes down to is when you look at yourself and you say, I want to do this. I want to become a producer. Well, if you didn't get paid any money, would you do it? Yep. If you didn't get any dollar in return, would you continue to make music? That's what shows if you truly love it. Yeah. Because I would just keep making music because it makes me happy. Yeah. Because when I'm in my headphones, I'm jamming out, I play it in the car, play it to my girlfriend, play it to my friends. That's what makes me really happy. Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think me and my wife we'll take walks down on the beach in the mornings, and we've talked just with just different things, life, business, and I've told her, I was like, yeah, if something ever happened where the show blew up, and I'm working on a book right now, and just everything that I've got going on, if all those things blew up, I would still have my old 2002 Honda CRV riding around with boogie boards in it. I would still be working out, training, helping athletes, helping them, still doing the podcast. It's just one of those where I think a lot of people don't realize
when you get into you get into a certain platform, or you jump into a certain platform, and the opportunities and the responsibilities and everything that comes with it. I just, a lot of times they don't realize that it just exposes, and it just sort of magnify more of who they are. So if it's someone that, like you were saying, they want this big stage because they're, looking for, more superficial things, and, and if it makes them feel good, that's good. But it's very finite. But if you're in the act of just creating and just, hey, this is something I'm just creating the most authentic thing that I could be for this moment. I think if you come from that state, I think that things come to you. They come to you far quicker than people that are happen to be chasing after certain things, or they see that limelight. They see, heck, they want to be on that stage. And if if you can't be patient enough to take those steps, and you try to jump a step in anything, I always equate creativity to life anyway. Everything mixes. Anytime that I've tried to jump 4 or 5 steps on a platform, I've busted my head almost. So it's one of those where sometimes you just have to take that one step. Just take that one step and be patient, be in gratitude for that. You'll get your chance to be on that platform. You try to jump 4 or 5 steps, you're going to fall flat on your face.
It only takes me about 2 or 3.
Everyone's going to see it. So I think with your story, and the people that hear this here in the future, is just being patient with where you're at right now. If you're trying to get into music, you're trying to be a music producer, you're trying to do anything within that music industry, even in the creative industry. It just takes you just taking that one step and saying, hey, look, okay, I want to do this. Well, let's just start out and go from there, get better, fine tune your craft. And then I really believe those opportunities that come, I think now, we're in a, and it could be, you have to find that balance, because we're in a society where, we want things now. And it can be hard to sort of settle back and feel like, okay, you know what, my opportunity right now may not be coming to me as of yet. It might not be my season, but what I can do, while those opportunities are haven't come to me yet, I can still work on my craft. I can still fine tune my skill set and getting everything in line. So when that opportunity comes, then you already expect it. You're already ready. What happens is people, they don't do anything, and then opportunity comes, and they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I think just being patient with one's journey, I think is critical. So what things are inspiring you right now?
Inspiring is especially all the people who were signed to Hood Politics. One thing I think that really separates us is that a lot of labels are created by other producers after they reach a certain threshold. They become famous. They're touring, they're playing festivals, they're playing a bunch of shows. So then they're like, okay, I'm doing this. Now I want to create a label, when people already know you. So you're going to get a lot of the more famous people on that label. So it's just kind of a rotation of things that you see all the time, the top 40 DJs and producers. So we were not famous. We were just people from here. And it took 4 years to get where we are now, where we have a following on these outlets. People know us around the world because of just being on the internet. People know us. So when we sign songs, I'll sign a song from someone who has less than 1,000 followers on SoundCloud, and it's amazing. It's because it has the same energy as us. And what really makes me happy is when people say, I made this for Hood Politics, and it says Hood Politics Demos. I'm like, that is so cool, because you know what we're looking for, and it sounds exactly what I want to hear. So that's what inspires me, is just the underground, not the people I see all the time, because the people who are really big now, when I was producing music and started, I wanted to be like them. They changed their sounds. It's not as really in your face or festival typey or whatever you want to put, high energy. It's maybe more of a groove, maybe more drum, maybe just more mellow. Versus I'm still over here. I thought we were all doing this, guys, and you all changed. So it's just hearing these songs come in. It makes me go back. I need to go do something. I need to go fix this up. So it's the people who are making things happen, seeing shows come back, seeing things reopen is really inspiring. Seeing that, that's what motivates me.
Wow, that's cool. So we'll go into creative tips. What is a creative tip or tips that you can provide our audience?
Keep going. When you get into whatever you're doing, I use music as my example because that's what I know. Mm-hmm. You have to keep going. If you think that you're going to reach some certain point and that's it, you made it, you have to keep going and you have to love it. Music made me a better person. Music changed my outlook on life. And in fact, I appreciated everybody around me more. And it took down the barriers of any mindset of competition I had with other people and just more appreciation and collectiveness.
Yeah.
When you make music, you have to go through a process of starting from nothing, a blank canvas, and creating a song. You have to make everything. When I talk to people and anything they do, it's a process. I understand their process now. I understand going through writer's block. I understand getting in the groove. I understand scrapping everything and starting from nothing. I get that because I've done that so many times, time again. So if I were to give someone advice, it's to keep going, and whatever you're doing, put yourself in that scene. Mm-hmm. I would go to the same club. It's called Shelter in Encinitas.
Yeah.
I would go there every Thursday night for 2.5 to 3 years just to be there, to dance, to at one point start just talking to the owners, talking to the local DJs, not asking for anything, just being there so they saw my face, and because I loved being there. And I a lot of my friends would go, but even some nights I'd go by myself.
Yeah.
Just go by myself to hang out. Just go, just look, be there, talk to when I'm going by myself, I'm going to talk to the resident DJs, talk to those guys. So put yourself in there, make yourself known, and then make it known that you love doing this and you love being a part of it. The more people you tell, the more you'll get support back, and always show love and show appreciation. Those people who are doing this, who are getting other gigs and you're also in the scene, aren't your competition. Those are your friends. You should make them your best friends. I did, and we created something beautiful, and we're successful in my mind. I think we're doing a great job.
Yeah.
So put yourself in the environment that you want to be in, and tell everyone you know around you that I like doing this. I'm going to keep doing this, so that this is who I want to be now.
Yeah.
When I started producing music, I became the music guy. People saw me walking around, I was bobbing my head. My computer's open, working on music, and that's who I am.
Yeah.
When you break down everything, I'm not in the office job, I'm not at home, I'm not outside playing basketball. I'm the music guy. I love making music, and that's the core to me. The core is making music and making people happy with that.
Yeah.
So get as much as you can involved in whatever you want to be, and that'll make it a lot better. It'll make it a better journey, because you should make yourself friends with those people, because they will support you the most. Mm-hmm. The new friends you make. Hey, some of the best friends I've made I've known since 4 years ago because of hood politics stuff or just playing shows. So
yeah,
be as close as you can to that.
That's a great tip. Mm-hmm. What projects do you got brewing? I know you've got some things coming up. What can you tell the audience about what you got coming up?
Of course. I have a couple shows coming out this summer. Can't release the dates yet because they're exclusive, but they're coming up. So, and then Hood Politics is going to do a 4th of July boat party. I unfortunately won't be there. I'm meeting my baby nephew. Sister's having a baby, so I'll be up there meeting the baby. But check out Hood Politics Records at gmail.com and just click the link in the bio. Get your spot. It's July 4th. It's going to be very fun in San Diego. And then you can follow me on More Than Friends Music on Instagram. I answer all my DMs. I don't have that many, so you can really reach out and ask me about anything.
Yeah.
And then I have my next few songs coming out on Wildcard Records, a remix for Dennis Butler. That's next week on next Wednesday. And then my Hood Politics EP, Rax EP, July 30th. It's going to be amazing. Most entertaining EP we ever had from me.
Well, how do people get that Hood Politics?
Just go to hoodpoliticsrecords.com and see that's sold out. Just kidding. Just kidding. This one's actually exclusive. There's only 3 made for me, Joey, and Stevie, but we're making a lot more stuff coming out later this season. So wow. I'll keep everyone posted, but I keep it on the hush right now.
Nice. And then last of all, before we sign off, words of wisdom. If even if you had to tell your younger self something, or you can tell the audience what is some words of wisdom that maybe someone needs to hear right now.
Mm-hmm. Lead with love. Always lead with love. When you get mad at something, it's important at the time, but it's not that important looking back on it. So just make sure you forgive that person. You try to get over it and just lead with love. Grudges and all that stuff is never fun to hold on to. So just try to be as happy as you can.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So, and like I said, how can people reach out to you, check out your music, check out the merch? I know you've said it before, but say it one more time.
Yeah, More Than Friends, anywhere you find music. So Spotify, Beatport, SoundCloud, Hood Politics Records, anywhere you find music, Spotify, Beatport, SoundCloud. I'm mostly on Instagram at More Than Friends Music, also on Facebook as well. Yes, reach out to me, talk to me. I love talking back, as you can see.
Sweet. Yeah, it's gonna be my new. I might have to add you to my soundtrack when I'm working out in the morning. It's good.
You better
have that whole gym in there rocking in the morning. But hey, this has been another awesome episode. This episode will release out in a few weeks. So I'll be sure to tag you and everything. But yeah, for everyone that listens to this, please check it out. Please support your local musicians. He's got some great things going, and like I said, check him out especially when the new album and all the other things come up. And I said you said the boat party.
Party, 4th of July.
Okay.
Get your tickets. Hood Politics on Instagram, and the link in the bio. It will sell out.
I might have to get my tickets for that.
Get
too.
your tickets.
No
guest list. We spent a lot of money on it, so we do make it back.
Hey, once again, this has been another great episode with me, with Michael, and hey, check them out. Please, like I said, I'm gonna say it again. Please support your local creators, support your local artists, your musicians. I'm gonna give another quick shout out to my partners. We've got Panels Comics and Coffee Bar here. Like I said, my second layer. So I originally started the podcast there at Panels. They've always been a great partner of mine. So check them out at Panels Coffee. We've got Elevate Coffee Trading that's based in the Dallas area. Extracting Hope through their mission. And like I said, please check them out on Elevate Coffee Trading. And then we've got Astropad. Turns your iPad Pro into another professional graphics tablet. So from all my designers, digital creators like me, please check it out. Download the app. You'll be surprised. And then lastly, hey, we got Cobo Pod here in Oceanside, California. They've been a great partner of mine. I always give out shout outs to them all the time. Artist shout out. I'm gonna give a quick artist shout out. You know what? To my boy Sodi. Thank you for the connect. Like I said, I really believe you build relationships. I'm a big fan of building relationships. If you come on this podcast, you have a friend for life. I am loyal till the wheels fall off. So you got a friend for life. So I want to give a quick shout out to Sodi, Swingin' Johnsons. They're out performing everywhere around here. Another quick shout out to the sound coach here, Dave. If you see the artwork in the video, once this produces, he does all the artwork here. Beautiful artwork. So I'll put his information in the show notes. So please, like I said, support your local artist. Peyton isn't here. He's usually he checks the video and gets everything set up. Does some great photography. I'll put his information in the show notes. And then some other artists that will actually be at a artist event tomorrow at Ikigai Artifacts here in Oceanside, California. You've got Karina with Sea Dream. That's her Instagram handle. Does a lot of watercolor illustrations. Then you have my boy John Howler that has his own merch, digital illustrations. And he actually has a interesting story. I hope to bring him on. So he, like I said, he's got a kid that's in the hospital right now, and so I always want to throw out support. Right now, all the merch that he's actually selling right now goes to helping his son that's in the hospital, his little kid that's in the hospital. So if you underneath this sweatshirt I've got, which is by my brand, Just Heart Apparel, I actually have a Howler Pack shirt. But he'll be there tomorrow, so please support him. And Then got my good buddy Jesse Owens. So he is a very eclectic character here in Oceanside, and does some great artwork. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to him. He's doing his thing. I always got to give, that is my artist shout out. Like I said, I'm real big about trying to help support the creative community. And like I said, I think it's one of those where when you elevate others, like I said, it helps everyone. So it's just one of those where it's very easy to be in competition mode. But when you switch your mindset to feeling like, hey, you know, I already have everything I need. How can I help support you? And that's something that I'm really been big on, especially with the show and everything else. Yep. So, but other than that, hey, this has been another great episode. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give one more shout out to my boy Logan. This is the man behind this whole Cobo Pod. You know, this show, you know, I get all the, you know, accolades, you know, people love the production. It's because this man had the vision to actually create this and turn this into a podcast studio. So without him, none of this could be done right now. So I always want to give a shout out to him too as well. But other than that, hey, this has been another awesome episode. This will be available on YouTube, on SoundCloud, Spotify, on the video will be on the Facebook, our Facebook page. As always, be creative, stay inspired.